Hey everyone, this is Manly Badasser, and welcome back to Y2K. Previously, we saw a girl get abducted out of an elevator or something. So, we have to go back to the factory. Hey buddy. Nice shirt.
Alex? You grew a beard!
As the young man got closer, my bewilderment grew. His name was Michael. He was a good kid, a bit younger than me, and usually worth a laugh or two. My hand covered my eyes to block the sunlight to see him better. I thought back to the last time I had seen him. For some reason, I couldn't place any memories of him since before high school. But I knew I must have seen him since then.
College makes you into a man.
Those memory lines kind of threw up some red flags coming out of the opening with the whole naming thing.
Makes you into something.
We're gonna find out this entire game is a game. That's what's gonna be.
What have you been up to?
We're going meta to the meta.
Just took the SATs. That's about it.
Sounds intense. How do you think you did?
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. But then I realized how uncomfortable it was to sit at the edge of my seat, so I sat normally.
What?
Just a little joke. Anyway, you look good. Well, maybe a few pounds heavier. Guessing you didn't major in exercise science.
Har, very funny.
Great. What do you do with that? Have any fun plans for the summer?
Nothing really. Just got back yesterday. I already spent the day chasing a cat and exploring that old factory by the water tower.
Oh wow, that sounds awesome! Hey, have you ever heard of urban exploration? There's this great website called www.onism1999.com. I think you'd really get a kick out of it.
Also, if you don't realize, because it actually came to me a little bit after the fact, was I'm pretty sure the elevator girl is a reference to an actual person who disappeared within an elevator. And I think they found her body up in a water tower. So I think this is a weird historical game interpretation of that event, of what happened to her.
These guys break into old buildings and take photos. Usually the places they explore have some sort of urban legend behind them or a ghost story. Most of the stuff is legit, pretty damn creepy.
Did you say Onism 1999? Someone sent me a video from there yesterday. What else do you know about that site?
It's like a conspiracy theory support group. People from all over the world post about political conspiracies, local myths, stuff like that. You don't look so good, dude. Everything okay?
It's something from that page. It's been screwing with my brain.
What exactly did you see on there that has you so freaked out?
I don't know if you saw it or not. It was the one with the girl in the elevator, the one who gets lifted off the ground.
That was supposed to be filmed locally. I couldn't bring myself to watch it, but all those sick bastards made the gif of her being thrown around like a rag doll. That poor girl. After that went up, everyone on the forum started acting strange, like a sort of darkness had come over the website. It was the first time something like that had been posted that people weren't immediately calling a fake. Something about the look of horror in her face. There's a sick part of people that want it to be real, you know?
Yeah. Michael, when I first got to town and I saw that,
There was part of me that wanted to tell Michael everything. To get it all out in the open. But I couldn't bring myself to say it. There was something that felt personal, almost intimate about my meeting with Sammy. Like, in that moment of her disappearance, we were linked. It was from my eyes only. Her memory was from my thoughts only. But I needed to talk to someone about the situation. So I proceeded with caution.
I went all over that factory yesterday. And I swear, the elevator in there was the same one as in the video. I know that sounds weird, but I really think that video was filmed there.
Really? Okay, let's check it out then.
What? Really? You want to go?
Yeah, why not? Do you mind if we run to the camera shop in Frankton really quick? I was getting my camera repaired. If we go in, I'm gonna want to take pictures. Photos would be like gold on Onism.
Yeah, sure. Let's just go quick.
That building isn't going anywhere anyway. Besides, the whole thing is probably a hoax. I checked the paper this morning and there wasn't a mention of a missing Frankton girl.
What if the building actually does go somewhere? I mean, there might be no rules to this world, and the building literally just gets up and goes.
Yeah, okay. Let's just not let anyone beat us to the punch.
I got 2 party members. So fights will be a little bit less long, I would say. Yeah, there's like a whole nother part of town over here.
No way! They opened up an arcade in Frankton? That's awesome! Wow! How long has this been here?
They opened it about 3 weeks ago. I still haven't gone in. I've been waiting until they fixed my camera so I could get some great photos of the place. I hear they have a bunch of import games.
Import games? From where?
Japan.
Japan, mostly.
Aren't, like, all games made in Japan?
Well, at least the good ones are. Although there are some good RTSs on PC I've been playing lately, and I'm pretty sure those are made in the US.
Yeah? I never got into those kind of games myself. Always been more of an RPG guy.
RPG games are seriously the best! Chrono Trigger, Lufia 2, Secret of Mana! Those games are like the holy grail of my youth! I seriously don't think I'd be the person I am today if it wasn't for them.
Ever play Two Brothers?
2 Bravos!
That's a sort of ARPG, although its focus really isn't on combat.
Two Brothers? Nope. That's a terrible name for a game, though. Sounds like a diner or a pizza place. Those guys really should work on their naming conventions.
Anyway, let's hit up the arcade really quick after we get your camera, and then head over to the factory. I just want to step in to smell that combination of grease and BO.
Yeah, let's do that then. Really? Grease and BO, dude?
I'll say just because their conversation kind of reminded me that the late 90s was a really great time for the internet when it came to like paranormal or weird sites. Because everyone was making sites back then, you know, it wasn't so centralized and boring. And you didn't have like some clickbait YouTuber making up some prank video. And that was like your paranormal experience, you know, it was very... There was some weird folks out there. And the lines of what we probably think of as the dark net, quotation marks, nowadays was probably a little more out in the open back then. And that was probably one of the more funner things, is just seeing what you could find on the internet, just putting in random things. Good way to get viruses, too! Hey, why are you not wearing a shirt? Brick oven pizza's the best! Don't you agree, Alex? Down from a place where you're not wearing a shirt. Well, they're supposed to bring me a check, or do I pay up there? I guess you just sell pizzas and pizza items and pizza accessories. If I could just withdraw another $189,000, which is a lot of money in the 90s, I could buy this establishment. But the ATM only lets me withdraw 100 at a time. Yeah. I don't really need health items at the moment. Yet. The difficulty could very well spike, because we barely have touched the surface of this game. So at that point, that we might need healing items, but hopefully... we get a healer. I didn't get to 21 of my meal. Whenever I did that happen to me, I would just go back up and say I got the same toy that I already have. I can't get a different one, and then the employees would just give me like a bunch of toys. They didn't care. I mean, it's McDonald's. Huh? Get burgers here. Talk to the NPCs. Once again, we don't really need any items yet. Hey Alex, can you see the ketchup on my tie? No good. You know what I'm wearing? Oh, I get it. That's a joke. Hey, generic NPCs. I asked for a salad, but the cook says she doesn't serve rabbit food here. I mean, that's true. Hey Alex, how's your mom doing? You know, we haven't seen the mom yet. It's a little curious. Sports! You free later? I think my brother would really like you. It's very random. Pharmaceutical rep? Just meet me at the park at night. Why are you dealing at the kids' park in the day? Huh? I don't think it works that way. It's clearly aiming down here, and it gave me an aerial perspective of the town. Hi. Again. Ooh. No matter how many times she goes down the slide, she never gets tired. Is there a slide around here I didn't see? Am I having an existential crisis? Did I pass it and just not notice it? Is that the gag? Sewer. I have a feeling we're going to be opening up the sewers and going into them later. Just based on that camera zoom. What kind of parking is that? Can nobody park in this godforsaken town? Oh god, the town is so big. Camera store is where we gotta go, but we'll stop by the record stop. Maybe get some new, you know, hip records for hip people like me. Well, you just teleported. Fangirl. Ever since I heard the new Back Alley Boys track, everything else sounds lame. What do you think a 12-year-old girl would like more? Back Alley Boys or 126 Degrees Back Alley Boys? He just dolphin dived. Please come in. You want it that way? Single. 99% bin. It sucks. I have both of these right now. So... stores are pretty much useless to me at the moment. I want it, but I cannot afford it. You wouldn't understand. Huh? Oh, Michael, I have your camera right here. Thanks. That was easy. Ooh, a digital camera. Stepping up. Gee whiz, I wonder what game that was or is.
Yes! This place is the bomb!
.com.
Wow! This is a lot better than I expected! There's so many beat arcades around.
Does that girl live in Frankton? I don't think I've ever seen her before.
I don't know. She's ancient anyway. What do you think she is, 26?
Hey now, that's really not that much older than me, dude.
Whatever, you're ancient too.
Let's come back here later. We should get to the factory.
There's money on the floor. $1. Is money leaking out of the ATM? I'm pretty sure money's leaking out of the ATM. Talk to the NPCs. My friend keeps looking over my screen. It won't matter in the end. It's not one of those games where that matters in the first place. You look perpetually angry. Do you need change? No, I see. So what do you want? Just to talk? I'm too tired to talk. Work here 10 hours a day. Go find someone who cares. I'll be back. I know for a fact you are a playable character. Being of pure energy is not here anymore. I figured, you know, this would be, like, not revealed right away, but we're seeing the extra-dimensional being right off the bat. You gonna comment on this, Michael? Seeming a little weird to you?
We saw something we never could have imagined. A being made of stars. The entire galaxy, no, the universe maybe, compressed into the silhouette of one entity. It hadn't noticed us at first. We were as insignificant to him as the trillions of stars at its core. But when provoked, it came after us. Like we were the most sought-after thing in the universe. I'd been scared before. Everyone has, but those past memories of fright were nothing compared to what we had just experienced. As if a black hole incarnate had come to exist and it wanted us gone. As if consuming us was its only purpose. I couldn't say why I felt that way at the time, but I'd known it was true. And with all this in mind, Sammy's vanishing was starting to feel like the least supernatural thing I would experience.
That's a very interesting battle theme. Soul Survivor. Panda.
Panda bear!
Alright. Camera it. Press K to take foes, more foes do more damage. Trained by unknown force. I feel like that would have done a lot of damage because it just absorbed the panda. I don't think we're gonna be able to do anything. This is a scripted fight. Run, Michael, run! Can we do anything to it? Were we supposed to just time it up? Wait, no, it's following us! Now what should we do? Check my menu for hints. Go back to Alex's house. I think we just still gotta run.
What the hell was that? What the hell is going on? Well, what just happened? What? Can you even believe what just happened? Oh man, dude! We need to get your photos developed! Developed? This thing is digital, baby!
I can't tell if you're in fear or very proud of it.
So what now? Do we just leave? I'm gonna go with yes!
Chapter 2, The Chance Traveler.
Once again, I had left the old factory, frightened and confused. And once again, I didn't have Sammy with me.
As I waited outside Michael's house for him to get his transfer cable, I couldn't help but be uneasy. I still didn't know where Sammy was, and all we had found was more mystery. Okay, dude, let's go upload these. My mom's on the phone, so if we want to go online, we'll have to go back to your house. Sorry about all the back and forth here. At least now you'll remember where I live.
While we waited for Michael's camera to transfer the photos, we began to talk.
I was talking to my cousin about this recently. The lifelong implications of seeing something actually, undeniably supernatural. Specifically, your reflection doing something that you were not doing. He has a 6-year-old daughter. She's really precocious. Apparently, she told my cousin that when she looked into the mirror, she was smiling, but that she knew she wasn't smiling.
I heard that one. There was a lot of stories like that on the internet back then.
When I thought about that, I knew it would destroy any respect you had for the rules of life and the boundaries of what could happen. I asked him what he said, and he just shrugged his shoulders and said, kids say weird shit.
Rumors about how to do that kept going around Lou back in the day.
I pushed him a little bit on the subject later on after he had a few drinks in him, and he said that it scared him to picture his daughter and another version of his daughter in the mirror, smiling when the other looked so miserable. He told me that his wife said his daughter was just confused, that she probably felt sad but was smiling from having fun playing. So inside she wasn't smiling, but outside she was. Maybe she couldn't understand what it meant to look happy outwardly, but feel inwardly depressed. Like as if her vocabulary wasn't enough to express depression. But I don't know. She is a smart kid, and somehow it felt wrong.
The reflection smiled at her? That's really creepy. Have you ever had any other experiences with paranormal stuff? Like before?
Not really. I've always had a bit of an interest in it. I always thought that these sort of things follow certain people around. Like there's something that picks a particular person and forces them to see all the weirdness that others miss out on.
You say that with a lot of affection.
I don't know. It's just kind of been my thing for a while. Conspiracies, ghosts, missing people, things like that.
When did you first get into this sort of thing?
I can't remember one thing that really pulled me in. My parents always fell asleep watching TV. They used to sneak into their room and watch those missing persons shows while they were sleeping.
I used to do that. Not the sneak part, but you know.
Once your mom finally got internet to Frankton, I started checking out some of the more paranormal websites. Before long, I realized that the information was too scattered. I spent a few weekends learning HTML, and before I knew it, Anism 1999 had over 15,000 hits each week.
Wait, you were involved with making Anism 1999?
You didn't know that? I figured that's why you kept talking to me about the missing Asian girl.
No, I just needed to get all that off my chest. Look, Michael, I need to be entirely honest with you, but yeah, just promise me you won't think I'm insane or anything.
Okay, fair enough. What did you lie about?
I met the girl who went missing. Her name is Sammy. I had followed a cat into the abandoned factory, and I found her there. She had been looking for a cat.
I swear the kind of hook of this song that plays for her theme really feels like a Beatles song. And I'm wondering if that's intentional.
I just assumed the cat hung out there and she had gone in to try and find him when he didn't go back home. But the thing is, she said some really strange stuff. Stuff about living in the factory, pretending not to know what elevators were. Well, okay, maybe not pretending. I think she really didn't know what they were. There were weird gaps in her knowledge that I had interpreted as her being quirky, but now I wonder if there was actually something really wrong with her.
You saw her yesterday, right? So you saw her after she went missing? That's actually a good thing, Alex. This means she wasn't taken by some serial killer or a rapist.
It means she was swallowed up by a being made of stars and planets. How is that better?
Fair enough. So, what was her last name? Did she tell you that much? Maybe we can check online for a missing persons report. You could call the police and tell them you know where the video was taken.
I don't know. There still is a part of me that thinks that, like...
What, that you dreamed it? Dude, I don't know. That would be a pretty specific dream. So you think you went into the factory, came home, and then had a really realistic dream where you met a missing girl you hadn't seen before?
But... You see, she didn't exactly look like the girl in the video. There was something skeletal about her appearance. Something otherworldly.
Otherworldly?
Yeah. Dude, just forget I said it. Did the pictures upload?
Yeah, let me pull them up.
How is this possible? They completely distorted the photos!
How cliche.
Holy shit!
Okay, well, yeah, this is pretty otherworldly.
It was as if someone had cracked an egg over my head, and what trickled out was hot dread, a feeling of pure anxiety. All of my fears were confirmed. What I was experiencing was real. There was no doubt about it. We uploaded the photos to Onism 1999 and waited for an explanation. We had our doubters, but more people wanted to believe than not. And with each reply, Sammy got pushed further away from the forefront of the discussion. I explained how the building was the same one from the elevator girl video, that everyone was more concerned by the creepy figures in the photo. Each time my little mailbox turned red, I slowly realized that everyone on this forum wanted the content to be true. They needed it to be. A few people tried to explain why the photos were distorted, but most people believed it to be ghosts, or the devil, or other stupid things like that. I considered myself something of a philosopher in college. I thought I had answers, but now that I've come face to face with the otherworldly, I know now that every person who tells you about spirituality, dead people and all that have no idea what they're talking about. Someone told a lie and it somehow stuck. I told the truth, and it just gets muddied up by that same ancient myth. With the exception of my post, most of the things on that forum seemed like lies. That was until about 2 weeks after my post, when a user posted something about a girl who could rip holes in time and space. I wouldn't have believed it myself, but he had photos, and we had seen the girl before.
So you realize we've seen this chick before, right?
Oh, really?
Arcade
Where?
girl.
Wait.
Knew you'd get there eventually. It's that old lady from the arcade.
Jeez, enough of that old crap. She's probably our age.
If she works at an arcade or has to do with video games, and she looks kind of like a little abrasive, and she can rip whole dimensions, is she supposed to be Ramona? Because I'm pretty sure Ramona could do that in the comic. I never actually really read the comics. I just know of the characters, but that's what I'm thinking.
Don't lump me in with you 20-somethings. I have a bright future ahead of me.
Until the economic collapse, then I'll be ruined.
Oh, if only you knew. Just wait till you're done with college. You'll be...
Boring and fat like the rest of your graduating class? I'm looking forward to it. In the meantime, I will continue to be my interesting, slim, nubile self.
Nubile?
I stand by my statement. Anyway, let's take another look at those photos.
Wow. It's just so unbelievable. What is the likelihood that this is a thing?
It's incredibly unlikely. But since we've got nothing better to do, let's say we visit ye old arcade for some air hockey and interview an interdimensional traveler.
I'm wondering what the party cap is. Like, it's gonna be 3 or 4. So I believe there's quite a few playable characters. Oh god, imagine 4 characters, 4 minigames, 4 dodges. Oh, ah. When I get to that point, I'm gonna turn on the assist and see if it makes a difference.
So, you gonna talk to her?
Are you kidding me? That's totally your job.
You're the main character after all.
Just man up and say something to her.
Go be socially awkward. That's the _1 rule of main characters.
I don't think I should.
She'll find it endearing. Or not, but join us anyway.
It'd be, good for you to learn to talk to girls before you go away to college.
I know how to talk to girls. But she is a senior citizen, man. What is she, like, 27? Ew. That's your thing, man.
I told you to cut it out with the age crap. She's probably no older than 24. And besides, aren't you the nubile one? You're much more desirable.
Yes, that's true, I am.
Listen here, boys. We have a zero creeping on women policy here. If you'd like to ogle some women, I'm sure your mothers would love it if you were home in time for supper.
It's not that. It's just we have this photo of you that we...
You've been taking photos of me? Wow. You guys are even more screwed up than I thought. Can't say you'd be the first pervs I've thrown out of this place.
Uh-oh. Wait, what? Holy crap, I've been thrown out. Quick, kick photos over. That'll help our case. Oh yeah, we're not winning. Oh, he lived. We're not gonna live. Yeah, we're gonna die anyways.
Okay, we give in. Just he's off. We didn't mean to be creepy.
Then why were you taking photographs of me?
Hey, we didn't take the photos. Someone on the internet did.
Someone on the internet? What are you talking about?
If you'd stop slamming our heads together for 1 minute, we'd love to explain.
Okay, explain.
There's this website where people post conspiracies and other weird things, and there's this photo of you, like, exploding things with your mind.
Exploding things with my mind. I haven't done that in a while, so I'm sure it's an old photo.
So you're not denying that you can do that?
Of course I can't. Not with my mind, at least. This goes against all the better judgment I have in me, but can you take me to a computer to show me these photos?
Yeah, sure. I live like 5 minutes from here.
Okay, so you join the party? No, not yet.
Well, that's me. Just, I don't know when these were taken.
How exactly do you explain all the blowing stuff up with your mind things? Can you really do that?
It's not exactly with my mind. I use sound. Remember when I kicked your ass earlier? I use the sound of my keytar to deal physical damage.
Oh, okay, that makes perfect sense.
If you study the physical properties of sound, you can learn enough about acoustics to both heal and damage objects orally.
Yes, it makes perfect sense.
Where did you learn to do something like that?
Oh, years of private practice and studying, really. So tell me more about this website. What is Onism 1999?
Basically, it's a place on the internet for people to talk about conspiracies, the occult, and anything supernatural.
Seems like something boys would like. Do you recognize the location from these photos?
That's behind the old grocery store. Obviously, you've been there before.
Interesting.
What's your name, by the way?
My name's Wilde. It's interesting to meet you. I'm guessing you're a cameraman, and this is your sidekick, Ginger Boy?
Usually I go by Alex. Only my mom is allowed to call me Ginger Boy.
She really gets us. You really would be my sidekick, Alex. Cameraman by day, Michael by night.
Right. So, why do you two spend all your time on such odd websites? Do you really believe this stuff?
Michael and I spent the next hour or so recounting the events of me finding Sammy, and us running into the star creatures inside of the old factory. As we told the story, Bella just looked into my eyes and never reacted. I first began with trepidation. As I went on, I could tell she was doing her best to understand my story. Something felt familiar about her. But not in the I've met her sort of way. Something deeper.
I'm telling you, it's gonna come back to that dang opening. As soon as I see those names I put in, I'm gonna be very upset with myself.
I dated a girl in college who was a women and gender studies major. She told me that she believed men and women were all the same at our core. That we were all made of the same elements, not just on a physical level, but in a metaphysical level. She was a strong believer in spirituality, although she'd be the first to tell you she was religious. She told me she believed everyone had soulmates, plural. A series of people we were compatible with. In her theory, this applied to friendship as well as romantic relationships. She said that when the universe was created, all matter was one object, and that since we're all matter, we are all the same. She said that she believes our soulmates were cut from the same section of that initial piece of matter. That unexpected feeling of familiarity you feel when you meet someone for the first time means you were meant to meet. I personally didn't believe it. I still don't think she has all her facts straight, but every time I feel what I felt when Bella looked in my eyes, I thought of this explanation.
Did you manage to speak with the entities?
The entities? I guess you mean the star creatures.
Yes, those are the ones.
No, we were too busy running for our lives.
Did you try and take photographs of them, Michael?
Yeah, let me pull them up.
Bella told us things. Confusing things. Things that, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have believed. The way she spoke seemed two-sided. As if for a few moments, a side of her that she was trying to keep hidden was visible. And as soon as we noticed, she made to cover herself up. She made jokes more often than she was serious. But when the serious aspect of her personality appeared, I was convinced that's who she really was. This was almost more fascinating than the information she was giving us. That's the thing with people, isn't it? You can show them all the mysteries of the universe, but if they're distracted by the human element of the tale, they'll shift all of their attention there. Self-consumed with humanity. Self-consumed with other people. You know? That's just how people are.
My experience with them is limited, but what I've observed was powerful. I understand that what I'm about to tell you will sound like a lie, so I ask you to look past the words I'm saying and hear the truth behind them. A short time ago, I entered into a dark place, both physically and metaphysically. While I was there, I encountered the entities for the first time. I can't say what about their presence was so striking to me, but the moment I saw them, I felt something. Something that was weighted. Like their bodies took up the entirety of the room, as if they were the room. At first, I approached one and we spoke. However, the contents of the conversation isn't important to the story. Something I said upset it, and it tried to grab me. It was almost like a mother trying to smother its child. The pain was beyond description. It scared me to death. The entity was incredibly heavy. I managed to break free, but the weight of the thing remained on me. And for the entirety of the following week, it was as if someone was twisting a drill inside me. My head would throb, and the pain felt bone deep. You probably can't imagine what it was like, you two, but just the thought of the pain now brings tears to my eyes.
I reflected on her story. I wanted to reply, but something inside me told me to let the words hang in the air. It was as if the longer the pause between her words and mine, the more truth they carried. Finally, I spoke.
That's horrifying. But can you explain what you mean by entered a dark place? Or more importantly, physically and metaphysically? I can understand doing it physically and mentally, but I need some help with the meta part.
Metaphysical is a word, an adjective to be more specific. It means pertaining to or of the nature of metaphysics. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that includes the first principles, includes ontology and cosmology, and is intimately connected with epistemology. Epistemology is, of course, a branch of philosophy that investigates the origin, nature, methods, and limits of human knowledge.
This is actually surprisingly wordy. Like, I didn't quite expect this coming in here due to the nature of it being kind of hip. But it's a surprisingly wordy RPG.
Thank you for the definition, which I already knew. I was looking for something more concrete, more tangible.
I'm not using that as necessarily a negative or a positive thing yet. I'm still too early in the game to make a judgment call on that.
I'm afraid that's all I feel comfortable telling you. I don't know you at all, and to reveal something so personal seems like I'd be opening myself up to vulnerability.
Do you mean to imply that you found a way to exist inside of a metaphysical space? That you...
Enough! I don't need to talk about this with you. It makes me uncomfortable. Don't you get that?
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to piss you off.
Look, I need to get back to the arcade. I was technically in the middle of a shift. I'm gonna write my number down. Call me if you see any more interesting comments on my photos, or have a run-in with the entities.
Wait, I have one more question before you go.
Alright.
How did you get to be so powerful? You took both of us on and barely broke a sweat.
Maybe it means she's gonna be a very late game party member. She's kind of OP right now. Let's say nerf her as soon as she joins you.
You act as if that's impressive. Look, I've trained myself in the metaphysical space, inside of the mind dungeon. I like you two, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Here is one last number. Call it if you ever want to open your mind and expand your battle abilities. That's all I'll say for now. The guy on the other end can explain more.
Mind Dungeon now available.
The way I look at it, we have two things we need to do. If we want to hang out with Vela again, we're gonna need to train ourselves. Also, if we want to call her, we're gonna need to search Onism 1999 for some interesting posts.
So you're saying this is gonna be a training grinding arc?
Okay, simple enough.
One that's gonna be mostly off screen for the viewers out there.
Go grind and then give Villa a call.
Oh god, you actually said it.
Yeah, but don't forget to search Onism 1999 for some good posts. She'll probably hang up on you and kick our butts again if we don't have anything cool.
Man, are we even cool enough to hang out with someone like her?
Nope! I'm still growing, and you're an overgrown man-child who can barely pick up a record. So let's head out of Frankton and try to find some things to beat up.
Sounds good. We should stock up on some healing items at the burger joint before heading out.
Oh god, here we go. Is my voice mysterious enough for you? I'm gonna give you a hint you won't understand.
Hey! Just calling to see if you figured it out. I would love to just come out and say it, but I think it would scare you to death. And that would ruin everything.
Are you me from the future or the past?
Nope. I haven't figured anything out.
You know, because time is non-linear.
Look, if you're just gonna keep calling me and say vague, creepy shit, you should at least tell me your name.
Oh! It's your best childhood friend. Think back to when you met me. We were kids. I think Losing My Religion by R.E.M. had just become a big hit. My mom didn't want me listening to it because she was afraid it would turn me into a bad kid or something. I went over to your house and we listened to it on your stereo for hours. My mom came to pick me up from your house, heard the song, and freaked out. How can you not remember that? It was the funniest thing.
The story was so specific. It sounded so familiar, and yet I couldn't place it. It was like I had read it in a book somewhere or watched it on a TV show. But still, no particular name or day came to mind.
Yeah, you're right. probably wouldn't remember that. Look, I'm going to keep calling you until you remember me. Remember what you used to say. Everything happens for a reason. That reason is nothing happens for any reason.
What a weirdo.
I think I'm the one that's like in the wrong dimension. When we beat the game and get back, it's gonna be the real friends are gonna be the ones I named at the beginning, and they're all gonna have weird names because I made jokes of it. That's what I get. So this is the mine dungeon. This is apparently where I level up. Encourage your friends to level up. Why do I want to encourage my friends? What kind of loser am I? It's nice to encourage your friends. Michael leveled up. Hey, look, it's the crow. Oh, it's a crow named Marlene.
Excuse me. No, seriously, I'm fine. Please don't fret.
You know, you actually sound kind of like what I thought you sound like, and that kind of bothers me.
I'm Marlene, although that's just the name my parents gave me. Please call me Crow, although most people just call me Kay. You look confused. May I ask why? Oh? You don't say.
Exactly.
Please forgive my rudeness. I don't mean to pry, but I can't help myself.
Then why can't anyone else understand that Reimu is confirmed for Smash?
Welcome to the Dungeon of the Mind. I imagine this is your first time here.
All the current leaks are false. We know it.
Ah, I see. I see. Where should I begin?
Call!
Well, first I should begin by saying in the fight between you and the Mind Dungeon, back the Mind Dungeon. For all intents and purposes, the Mind Dungeon is the only thing that truly exists. Everything else is just shattered fragments of time and matter floating in the soul space.
You talk so slow and it's starting to annoy me.
Remember to save often. One advantage in keeping a diary is that you become aware, with reassuring clarity, of the changes in which you constantly suffer. Plus, it's never fun to lose progress. Well, good luck. I've often said that it's comforting to reflect that the disproportion of things in the world seems to be.
How about I
only
Edgar Allan
arithmetical.
close your text box?
Lastly, in my pseudo-philosophical rantings, I forgot to mention something vital. You may have heard this in a distant dream, but I feel like I should remind you. When you kill an enemy, it's dead forever. Killing enemies gives you experience points. Spend those experience points to open doors inside the Mind Dungeon.
The Mine Dungeon!
Remember though, you can decide not to kill any enemy and avoid the battle altogether. However, doing so might not be wise all the time, since you'll want to find experience points to spend on character upgrades.
Her face is screwed up in this window.
Okay. Oh. Which one's strength? Damage is king. Select an attribute. Oh. We need some HP too. Why is this one like kind of weird? I'm gonna get some more strength. Enter room. Okay. Okay, and luck is crit. I'm not sure how useful crit is in this world. Crit is either the most useful thing in the world or it's the most useless thing in the world. There's like no in between in an RPG. So, I don't know. Let's ignore defense for right now. Okay. So is the XP a pool, and then we choose to level up ourselves or characters, or... No, because Michael just leveled up. So essentially we are going out to go grind. So I'm already level 5. And to the game's credit, that actually happened really fast.
I don't know about you, but I feel stronger.
Essentially, pretty much, I had to only do like 2 extra fights outside in the world map.
I think you can see my biceps now.
That's not funny, Michael. You're not funny.
Hell yeah.
Neither are you, Alex.
I'm not really worried about how I look. I'm more concerned about how I feel.
Yeah, you would say that.
Ignoring that, do you think we're strong enough to call Vela up?
Probably not, but might as well give it a shot if we can find anything good on Onism. Have you logged on today?
No.
Hey, Michael. Check this out. Someone sent me a PM.
Hey man, I saw your post about the elevator girl and the factory she went missing in. My sister vanished a few weeks ago and there was some screwed up things with her disappearance too. If you're interested in checking out where she was last seen, you should come to Windtown. It's east of the factory the elevator girl was last seen in.
So what do you think? This interesting enough to bother Vela about?
Yeah, probably not bad.
I mean, that was easy. I thought I was gonna have to manually look it up. Alex dialed Vela's number. Ring, ring, ring. Phone call.
Hey, Vela. It's Alex. Some kid sent us an email saying his sister vanished.
Really?
Yeah, said it was similar to the elevator girl's disappearance.
Okay, and he wants us to come check it out? I'll meet you at the Frankton bus stop. That's the best way to get there without a car.
You want to leave now?
Yes. I don't have work till tomorrow afternoon, so it would be best for me to do it today so I can get some sleep.
Fair enough.
Oh, and Alex, I thought you should know. The elevator girl has a name. Her name is Semi Park. I was able to get some information on her. I'll share it with you in person.
Semi Park, huh?
Sammy. See what they did there. Oh! Yeah, don't worry about it. Can't do anything to us. We're wearing a plaid shirt. We're so hip, we're untouchable. Hey, sup?
Okay, you boys ready? I got us the tickets already. We just take this bus to the first stop outside Frankton, and then it's just a 4-mile walk to Windtown.
4 miles?
Don't worry, it'll happen instantly. It's a game.
That's pretty far. Shouldn't we just call a cab?
If you'd like to pay for it, go ahead.
We could always call your mom.
No. Walking is fine. It's, good for your body.
Da-da-da.
When we sat on the bus with Velma and began to talk, it felt as if she was a different person. The edge to her personality had dulled a little bit. She seemed almost happy to see us. We were just leaving Frankton when she told us what she had learned about Sammy. Sammy Park was a 23-year-old Korean American who had moved to Frankton from the city. She was an only child, and lived with her mother until she moved to Frankton on March 2nd for her job. She was some sort of legal cleric and hadn't even begun working yet when she vanished. Apparently, the organization she was going to work for does a public TV Korean news show. The friend who got her the job did the reporting. The police have no leads. It is currently being treated as a missing persons case.
Where exactly did you find out all this?
So pretty much, yeah, I mean, I already mentioned it, but you'd see, the elevator girl, which she went disappearing in, I think it was 2013, it was in, like, in LA. She didn't really disappear, she died, but, you know.
Are you Korean?
No. Do I look Korean?
It's hard to say. You look vaguely ethnic?
Really? That's what you're going with? Maybe it'd be best if you just didn't mention race again. Somehow it comes off so awkward when you do it.
I just meant, like, you know, exotic.
Oof.
None of the other girls around here look like you.
Stop. Please, just stop. This is seriously uncomfortable now, Alex. Anyway, my boss at the Frankton arcade is Korean, and he always keeps newspapers around. I saw the picture of Sammy and asked him about the story. I called the police and asked them if they'd seen the video, and they said that the detective in charge of the case would get back to me shortly. This was 4 days ago. I find it unlikely he ever will.
I'm not surprised, really. It's almost like no one cares that she's missing.
I'll check through more newspapers, though, see if there are any leads.
Might not be a bad idea to try and talk to the woman who reported her missing after we visit the guy in Windtown.
I didn't say it at the time, but something felt off. The Sammy I met was strange. She didn't seem like the kind of girl who could have grown up in a city, moved to a small town, and worked for a television station. People who don't know what elevators are usually aren't capable of such tasks. My Sammy, and Sammy in the newspaper, may have looked the same, but there was a difference there. I could feel it.
It's gonna be something that comes back to that whole soulmate thing.
Holy cow. So, how far are we again from Windtown?
Not too far. 4 miles northeast of here. We don't need to cross any more highways, so if we approach one, we're going the wrong way.
Okay. Let's do this.
Banish a sole survivor from the battle to the random floor of the mine dungeon? That's so vague. I mean, well, it's not vague, I know what, you know, it's doing, but what is the purpose? Like, what's the gain of that? Man, we didn't even take the bus, we could just went out the map and just walked here. So is this Windtown? That was a pretty quick walk. 4 miles doesn't really equate to video game hours, does it? Okay, so this is the town that they showed off a lot in screenshots and preview builds. But it looked a bit more different. Ooh, custom font. Population 15 plus 3, now that we're here.
Hey, look! We're in Chicago!
I get it.
Did you just laugh? I think this is the first time I've heard you do that.
I do it all the time. Well, usually it's in my head. And normally it's aimed at you two.
Ouch.
Did this guy tell you where to meet him specifically?
Well, crap. No, he didn't.
Well then, I guess this is where we start asking any late-night street crawlers for information.
How do you propose we do that?
Find the nearest person and ask them about the girl who disappeared here recently. Pretty easy, actually. Just be direct, Alex. They won't bite. Well, maybe they won't. This town is pretty suspect.
Okay, fair enough. Let's give it a try.
You look a lot like the person in the other record store, kind of like your clones. Can you tell me that? And why do you make a dolphin splash? I don't really get that joke. Do all music nerds make dolphin splashes? How can an RPG be postmodern? That is actually a good question, but I'm not gonna care because I'm not a nerd. Poverty Pamela, I came here to a Windows shop. I'm surprised this place doesn't go out of business. Not like when this town can afford records ever since the recession hit. My boyfriend says our next president's gonna save us from this terrible 90s economy. I hope he's right. How's that for some topical political humor? Triple sevens. It's closed for the night. Like my heart. Some dude. He's got a hook for a hand. Looking for some dumb missing kid, huh? What makes you think I know anything? And not only that, he's in fact hacking us. 2 hooks. Okay. Hook-handed jock. Well, hook-handed jock. Take records. We're a band, technically. Since I've been increasing Alex's strength, I feel like it's beneficial. Oh, we found hook hands. Okay. Whoa, that was quite the beatdown, kid. You're not so bad, thanks. I haven't hit like that since pre-K. Let's see, you're talking about that girl who hung out by the grocery store. No idea where she lived. I think her mom worked a day shift at the 7-7 west of here. You know, the place that was closed. Oh look, now she suddenly appeared. Okay. Underpaid cashier. After that shift, I need to hit something. Why are we battling you? You didn't even do anything bad to us? Wait, no, you said hit. I thought you meant that kind of hit. Oh god, you're actually pretty swole. Yes! Unprepaid cashier is dead. Wait, weren't we supposed to question her? We just committed murder? Got beer. We just mugged some innocent cashier for a beer. I may have just got my ass handed me by a bunch of wastoids. But boy, oh boy! I feel so alive right now. So how can I help? Oh, that poor girl. Her mom got fired from here. I haven't seen her in weeks. Here now she mostly works nights, if you know what I mean. No, I don't. My daughter used to see her at the playground. You could talk to some of the kids there. It's southeast of here. What was that camera pan? Is this the playground? It's not really I mean, it's kind of a small playground. Reach for the sky. Everyone attacks me in this town. Where are we? You shot, trying to shoot me. Take a dirt nap. Now we're just murdering a kid. Okay. Wow, mister. When I grow up, I want to go beat up random people for their lunch money too. So were you looking for someone? Do you mean that strange girl that hung out around the graveyard? I wasn't allowed to talk to her. Maybe some of those weird vampire kids can give you more details. Check the graveyard. It's east of here. Or is it west? I always mix those up. I should have stayed in school. Yeah, I don't think... I think you should probably go back. Are you the vampire kids? We came here hoping to find quarters. We realize that money is a social construct created to oppress us. We're gonna go write fanfiction instead. Got any change? No, not for you. What are you doing? Why you? Frustrated parent, my daughter moved to this low-income commune 6 weeks ago. I'm just here helping her settle in. I wish you would have just let me pay her Frankton rent. I think this is new... Random... No, it's just random NPC. Adolescent smoker. Who the hell are you? You looking for Carrie? You have to beat that on me. Everyone's so mean in this town. No. This is symbolic for real life. Everyone's just really mean. You ask for directions, people are just like, get on my face. Dang normies. Okay. Let this be a lesson to you. Punk itself is conformity. You just another normie with a different coat. Quite literally a different coat. Yeah, if you don't know McCure, you should talk to her brother. I think they live to the south of here. But the house is always locked up by a big fancy gate. Mom says you need something pretty bad to have a nice house like the Mansers got. Plus it's 99. Punk and Goth was dead by this year. Yeah, Lucky's rabbit foot. Hey, you. You look kind of weird. You got Ferrari? Looking for the Manster's house, huh? Why? She give you a key, too? My wife says I need to give her the key if I want to see my daughter again. I've never done unless someone still see my beautiful leg candy. What? Wait! I don't like that one. It catches me off guard because it's keys that my hands would not be resting on with the controls of the games. Bites the dust. Look, they just said they stay dead. We just killed him. But no, it's perfectly alright when we get up. Fine, you beat some sense in me. Take this key. My wife thinks so. You live in a house that's fenced off. I don't think they like visitors. Alright. And Michael also has a new skill, so hopefully he won't be completely useless in fights.
Well, I guess this is the place.
I guess this is the place.
So, do we just knock?
Let's give it a try. Worst comes to worst, he's sleeping and we wake him up.
I have a feeling we'll gain a new party member. One to possibly replace Michael, because you're useless, Michael.
Who are you guys?
I'm Alex. I come from the internet.
No one says that anymore. But they did say it back then. So then again.
Oh, one sec, come in. So hey, yeah, I'm Rory, but you probably figured that much out on your own. If not, why would I be letting you into my room? Anyway, what are your names?
I'm Alex. This is Vela and Michael.
No, I mean, what are your screen names? That's how I know all of you, so that'll be more beneficial.
Wow, what a nerd.
Oh, I'm SNES Man 99. I think that's the first time I've had to say that out loud. Michael is Veriformer, and Vela isn't cool enough to go on the message board.
Good for you, Vela. A bright life ahead of you.
Hey, aren't you that girl? The one from Winway 87's post about the girl who's ripping up holes in reality in his town?
I am. But don't believe everything you read on the internet. You boys take that stuff too seriously.
Hey, I invented lying on the internet, so no need to warn me. Anyway, I'll have my eyes on you. Don't need you ripping a hole in my basement with your mind powers or whatever the hell it is you do.
Well, then just remain on my good side. So, Rory, tell us about your sister. When did she disappear?
My sister, she vanished about 3 weeks ago. Went to school one day, left school, and now she's gone. No crazy elevator video of her either, she's just gone.
How do you know she just didn't run away?
Oh, did your parents get the police involved?
No, my parents aren't exactly what you'd call proactive. They aren't the types that jump to their kids' defense when they're in trouble.
Do you think it would be okay if we talked to them?
No, that wouldn't be okay. It's complicated.
I see. Well, who else knows that she's missing? This is extremely serious. A teenage girl goes missing, and someone needs to be doing something about it.
Yeah, but it's... Yeah, okay, you're right. Where do we begin? Well, my sister Carrie started acting weird a few months back. She was having trouble with some girls at school, but nothing she couldn't handle. So one day, things get really weird when I find her in the attic. She was holding some of her baby toys, stuff that's been boxed up for years. I asked her what she was doing, and she said she needed them for gifts. Gifts for kids who had less than she did. So then she left. She took 7 things with her. After she vanished, I went around looking for her, and I found her toys scattered everywhere. Anyway, the weird thing is, each place a toy was found, an accident happened there shortly after. One of the toys was left at an underpass, and the next day, a kid was killed when a car hit him. And I know that sounds like a coincidence, but then at a train station, a woman was robbed, and the guy who grabbed her purse ran into the tracks and got hit by, not the train, but a cop car that lost control and plowed into him.
That's a good thing.
Anyway, this old lady had a heart attack and died the next day at the grocery store right on top of a sewage cap where another toy had been found. You can't tell me all of that is a coincidence.
Did anything happen to you personally when you went to these locations? Were you the one who found the toys?
Yeah, to both. But okay, let's just go to the places. I think it'd be best for me to show you myself.
Rory has joined your party. We finally left Rory's house. It was evening. Rory, where are you going? There's an alien out there. Does anyone got a comment on this? Guys, that's like the thing we were scared of in the first place. Hello? Anybody? Anybody gonna care? It's right there! I see it! It's literally the sun. I think it is the sun. Or the moon. But still. So I noticed the default sound tweaking was pretty off. So let's see if that helps quite a bit, because it's kind of hard to hear the characters.
I have this theory about physicality and the nature of our universe. It has a lot to do with the temporal nature of our bodies.
That makes perfect sense.
Basically, I think we all have a set number of days to be in our bodies, and they usually end with our bodies being destroyed. But sometimes, very rarely, we leave our bodies without dying.
What exactly happened here, Rory? What makes you say this?
Okay, forget that for now. I can't explain it right now. Let's continue the tour.
A lonely road, some memorial. The name is washed away from the rain. Yeah, tweaking the options definitely helped. The weird thing is that you can't tweak the options from the start menu. You have to go into the game and then go into the config from there. So it's pouring over here.
The elemental composition of the human body can be looked at from the point of view of either mass composition or atomic composition.
Is no one still not noticing the weird alien thing over there?
The adult male human body is approximately 57% water, and water is 11% hydrogen by mass, but 67% if you count atoms. Most of the mass of the human body is oxygen, but most of the atoms in the human body are hydrogen atoms. What we love to forget is the soul when we talk about our makeup. I don't really believe in souls in a religious sense. I like to think about the soul as our mind. Have you ever imagined what it would be like if we successfully performed a brain transplant, but when the person woke up, they were exactly the same? Like, the brain is a physical part of the conscious, but the moment it's in a new body, the old soul, brain, or whatever enters back into the body and poof, we're back to being ourselves. Do people really know that the brain contains our thoughts? Yeah, and before you tell me about the science behind it, I know you're right. I just think about this from time to time.
You're a bit off on both your science and metaphysics, but you're onto something.
Bella would know. She apparently can, like, control things with sound and music. Power of a Disney character.
Shoot him down. She didn't mock him. In my head, the rational part of my brain was already thinking of a variety of corrections to his ideas. But after this week, I knew pretty much anything was possible.
I can't do it here. Okay, let's go to the next spot. I'll try there.
I'm still not sure what we're doing here, Rory. Come on now, you don't have to walk in the path. Don't be such a conformist. Look at me. It's the 90s. Come on now, walk on the grass.
Sometimes it feels like my sister is still in her room upstairs. And I don't mean to suggest that I forget that she isn't there. It goes beyond that. There are times where I feel like she's physically there. Like, in the same way I can feel my foot is attached to my leg without actually having to touch it with my hand. But she isn't here right now. There is one more place we can check. Let's go back to the overpass.
Are we gonna walk all the way back there? Yeah, we are. Look! Hey, Rory, look at this. I'm cutting through the grass. Look how faster I am getting there. Oh, you stopped. Why? That's not the overpass. Oh, I see how it is. Come on now. Are we going into the sewers?
This is right. I think I can do it here.
What are we doing?
Okay, someone lift the sewer cap with me.
You want to go down there?
Yes, I think that would be a good idea. Boys, give him a hand.
This is
Okay,
the
so what I'm
sewers
about to say
from
might sound
Nickelodeon.
crazy, but I can prove my theory down here.
Is unironically Nickelodeon colors.
I think my sister's soul is down here, so let's look for her.
Rory, I think you might be a bit... Okay, no, this will be fine. Let's look for her. I just want you to prepare yourself that what you find down here might not be her.
Whatever, but I know it's her.
Now look at it. Nickelodeon came down here, they redecorate everything. This is what's under the Nickelodeon building, Universal, you know, before they shut it down. Let's see what's in these. An outhouse? I think we just had a bell of an outhouse. It sounds very dramatic. There were some shredder rats. Some poo. Samurai rats, rather. I guess, but they're shredder rats. Come on now. So, for a little bit of a kind of meta out of original playthrough commentary, this dungeon and some later areas and pretty much most of the battles are going to be edited out.
Right.
I usually don't do this. I show mostly things intact aside from random battles, but there is flaws to the game, and some of the dungeons, like specifically this one, are essentially, there's nothing really interesting visually. The battles take a very long time, so you spend a good like an hour and a half into these dungeons, and it is a flaw of the game that the gameplay is very slow and it's not very well balanced. So really, there's nothing really here fun for a viewer to see. So like, this is almost gonna be all gutted, except for important parts. Which, in this dungeon, there's not, except for the end of it. In some of the other areas, I'll actually, like, cut to some areas where I address some of the flaws with the game on a more critical level. So you might, like I said, you'll see some jump cuts here and there. For the most part, the entire sewer area is going to be going. What do we do here? I have something that should help us clear these rocks. It's called an amp. I'm going to lend you this old bass. Crank up to 11 and strum the strings and la-di-da, the rocks will explode. Straightforward. You gave me a tool to get through these. Basically, let your bangs fall in your eyes and jerk your head forward and torquing your shoulders. Do this just right, you should be able to cut through small bushes. What? Oh my god, I'm Kabuki Quantum Fighter. I even have red hair. Ah, this is new.
I see you settled into the mine dungeon quite well. Have you met the librarian?
No, I haven't, long-spoken crow.
Oh, I guess you wouldn't. She's on floor 15. There is a girl who minds the place all by herself. Tell her the crow told you to come read old memories. She will show you the rest. Before you go, I feel like I should warn you about that girl.
Maybe you can, like, warn me a little faster?
Ask whatever questions you want, but remember, she may not answer. There are things I cannot say, and things she certainly can't. However, keep asking questions. Ask as many as you can think of. That will be your job. Whenever you're not in the dungeon of the mind, you are free to do as you like. Understand?
No, because you're cryptic. Purposefully so. Alright, we got all the keys, let's go. Oh my god, you can make me select each individual key. Really? Hi, buddy. You've discovered me. But can you defeat me and the other robot masters?
So wrong. So wrong.
Can't you see her too? That's my sister. That's Carrie.
Oh shit! It's an entity! We need to get the hell out of here!
Wait. We need to remain calm. We need to try and talk to him.
Carrie, I brought some friends. This is Alex, Michael, and Bella. They're gonna help us.
Rory, that isn't your sister. It's...
Shut up! That's Carrie. Can't you feel it? It's so familiar. I can prove it. She understands what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. I've never been this close to anyone. Trust me, it's her!
Rory, that's not Carrie. Rory, that's you.
What?
What? What the hell are you talking about?
These things are reflections of ourselves?
That's your soul survivor. Your spirit, your consciousness.
How can that be? I'm right here!
Bella, what the hell is going on? You need to explain this.
I was right about the whole... Alright, I see where we're going with this
Rory,
now.
what really happened to your sister? Something about your story doesn't add up. Let me hear the truth. Rory, please. I'm here to help you. Did your sister really vanish?
Did they ever exist?
No, she jumped off the overpass.
Rory, that's terrible. Why did she do it?
What the hell kind of question is that? It was those bastards at school. Stupid, shitty girls always ragging on her, going out of their way to make her feel bad, picking on her for being my sister. Ugh! This is all my fault. It's all because of me, because of what I'm like. You know?
Are we gonna have to, like, lock away soul survivors into our mental world and then we can defeat them later to unlock our stand?
How did you find this place, Rory? When did you first see your soul survivor?
It was 2 weeks after she died. I found her things. I came down there thinking she fell down or something. I don't know. And then I thought about dying too. I wanted to die. I needed to get away from this world. I needed to find her.
But you knew she was dead, didn't you?
Of course. But
It's okay. You can tell me. I'm not judging anything you say here. Tell me all of it.
I surrendered myself to the ether. To the realm outside of this one. You know what I'm talking about. Don't you, Bella?
I do.
I don't know what she's talking
Go
about.
on. What happened when you left your body?
I didn't get far. I separated from my physical form, and then I saw my body and my sister, which you say is me.
Did you leave the Earth?
I was so close. I was so far away. And then I saw it. The soul survivor. The entity. Whatever the hell you called it.
Rory, please listen to me carefully. You left your body when you surrendered yourself to your misery. You abandoned this physical form, and your soul was about to enter the soul space. But what you saw was not your sister.
Is Vela more of a main character than Alex?
That
At this
soul
point?
over there is not hers. It is yours. I've traveled the soul space, and I understand what I am seeing when I look at the entities. I see the marks of your soul, and I can tell you that that is another you.
I feel like we got a bit of a Final Fantasy XII syndrome going on here.
Somewhere out there in the soul space, this you left his world and stumbled on yours. That's you from another plane. It's likely it was experiencing the same suffering as you.
What? I don't understand.
Quantum
Can
Fury.
you please explain what's going on here?
Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. I understand what you were feeling. This depression is unbearable. I can't take it anymore. The depression pain part is an unavoidable reality. But whether or not you can overcome it is up to you. You decide if you're going to keep going. Your sister is gone. There's no changing that. But traveling the soul space is incredibly dangerous, and if you're not careful, you'll end up like him. You can't help but feel the pain, but you can get through the suffering. That will go away. Look, I know it's easy for me to say. I'm not the one whose sister is dead. But you have to understand that I am telling you the true reality of the situation. You're playing with some otherworldly dangers here. Oh, no.
Here we go.
Is that... Damn it! Guys, we need to run!
Bella, will you tell me what the hell is going on? What is all this about?
I think it's a golden alpaca. Damn it, we need to run! Come on, let's get out of here!
What the hell's a golden alpaca? Oh god, it's literally a golden alpaca.
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Whoa. This is gonna hurt. Should we run or should we try fighting? See if we can hurt the golden alpaca. It took damage? I think we can do this, maybe. Mugshot it.
I'm gonna make you look so good! Say cheese! Say cheese!
Took a bad photo of golden alpaca. I'm not even sure what the sick debuff does.
Banish!
Some kind of... This is a weird minigame right here. Win! Hey, that's some of the floor I'm about to enter. What do I do when I actually encounter it? Guard Michael. He's kind of weak.
Michael!
Michael! Did you really just call me a lame-ass human? Ah, I see. Sick as poison. Absorbed it. What was that?
Alex!
Again, a unicorn horn? Is that real bad?
Bella!
They got really swole. It's dead. I'm not sure supposed to do that, but you know, we killed it. Whew.
Okay, what the hell was that thing? Why did we have to kill it? And what is going on? I've been sitting here for 30 minutes while you and Rory talked in riddles and ignored my questions. This is insane. What is a soul survivor?
Calm down, Alex. I'll explain it now. I haven't been intentionally leaving you in the dark, so don't act like I'm some anime character.
But you are.
Fine, this is too much.
Deep breaths, Alex. Michael's taking this better than you are. By now you've seen enough visual proof that what I am going to tell you isn't a lie. I need you to understand that I don't have all the answers. I can only say what I know to be true from my experiences.
I get it. Spit it out already, Bella.
What you just saw was a soul survivor, or an entity. Both names are acceptable. These beings are a visual representation of a soul that has escaped from its body. You see, it is entirely possible for a human being to separate their soul from their body.
And what's a golden alpaca?
In doing so, you leave behind your physical form, and more often, you can't retrieve it. The separation of mind, or soul if you will, from the body can only be achieved by accepting an existence of a non-physical nature. A human usually stumbles on this facet of reality after undergoing a transformation of a grave nature. In Rory's case, it was the loss of his sister that pushed him towards exchanging his physical nature for a metaphysical one.
So we just killed a clone of Rory. Well, the soul of a clone from another dimension.
This is where things are about to get strange, so please bear with me.
Oh no,
Our
it's not any
souls
stranger
do not
than it is.
belong to ourselves, in the traditional sense of the word belong. Our souls are shared by otherworldly versions of you, me, and everyone else. There is an Alex out there, in another world, who has the same soul but different life experiences. A soul survivor is a soul that has left his physical form, as well as his reality, and entered into a world where a physical version of his or her soul already exists. Normally, when you abandon your physical form, you become an omnipotent entity who exists just in their own reality. You can't return to your body once you've left it behind. Soul survivors are souls whose realities have been destroyed, and they manage to leave their reality in hope of finding a physical form. So that being right there is Rory. A different Rory, one whose reality was destroyed, and he's attempted to find a physical reality to exist in.
So you're saying it's a mixture of like the Lost Spells from Fate Go and that never dimensions of that one other anime, Bukurano or whatever.
But how do you know
Going from
all
the
this?
mix.
Because I have left my physical body, surfed, and explored the soul space, and come to understand the nature of the universe.
But you have a physical form. How did you return to your body when you say it isn't possible?
This is not my reality, Alex. There was another me here, and she left.
And I just borrowed the body.
I was able to take her physical space because her soul had already left this world.
And what is the soul space?
The soul space is... How do I explain this? Okay. Imagine a ring. In this ring is a series of worlds. When one world is destroyed, the soul space shrinks and the ring gets smaller. When a soul leaves their location in the soul space, another soul of the same origin, like another me, can take its place and regain physical form.
This is crazy. How did you figure all this out?
That's personal. Look, what leads people to find the soul space is different for each person, and I'm not going to share that with you.
This is all fine and shit, but it doesn't bring my sister back. Soul space, minds, realities, all that shit. Who even cares?
Rory, it's okay. Take a deep breath with me.
Cut it with the deep breaths. This isn't okay.
Let's get out of this sewer. I can explain this better in the fresh air.
There's one of those weird cutscenes.
We hear a faint electrical crackling, and a hint of life crosses behind the eyes of the sleeping figure. But as soon as it appears, it fades imperceptibly to a flicker.
Maybe
We
the
confirm
android's
our
designed to
thoughts on the machine
absorb a
and
soul
decide that there is
survivor.
activity inside of its circuits. We refrain from referring to it as alive, as logic and science dictate that this is only an emulation of life. This creature has no feelings, no desires, no wants.
The following week or so, my mood was strangely languid and serene. Bella's words buzzed in my ears, like a bee hovering around my head. It was waiting to sting, waiting to have its full impact. From my bedroom window, you could see blooming green leaves of summer popping up here and there on the rolling suburban hills, their branches reaching up to the sky like magic ropes. I hadn't spoken with Michael, Vella, or Rory in almost 8 days. Michael was stuck in his house, pretending to study for finals. And taking her cue from the other women in my life, Vella vanished. I'd gone to the Frankton arcade hoping to see her each day, but she wasn't around. I spoke with her manager, the Korean man, about Vella and Sammy, but he offered very little information. She said she needed to take some time off, so I gave it to her. Lots of help, thank you. See you later, jackass. I hadn't spoken with Rory since that night either. As soon as we got out, Vella went into depth on her soul survivors and metaphysics. Then he ran off saying he needed to clear his head. And just like that, all alone again. I listened to cassette tapes of old music. Callum Bowen, Nico Sekalakos, Andrew Allenson, as I listened to the soaring strings and strangely syncopated bass line of Symphony 7 in E-flat by Andrew Allenson, I replayed that night in my head. I believed Bella. I shouldn't have. It sounded like pseudo-religious bullshit. But I had seen the soul survivor with my own eyes, and I had seen Sammy vanish into the abyss of what looked like our universe. Where had she gone? Sammy. I missed her. I didn't know her really, but I felt like I did.
Oh, I just realized Alex is a soul survivor. That's most likely what it is. The person calling was a friend from that other dimension.
In the unreal twilight
probably
hours,
occupying
in
into
between
Alex's
sleep and
body.
waking, she slipped into my dreams. Got tangled in my thoughts. Like the blankets tangled between my legs. Her in the dreams, we didn't speak. In the dreams, we didn't do much of anything. I could just feel that she was there and that she understood.
Alex and Sammy are probably a couple or something from their own dimension.
She had to still be out there. Out there in the soul space, maybe.
That goes back to the whole thing of like, you're the soulmate. Quite literally a soulmate.
Shit. Okay, so listen up. Since a soul survivor has spent a lot of time down here, it's likely we're going to find some very strange things. Let's call them, breaks in reality.
So wait, is this a flashback? That was a weirdly weird pan.
You may have seen some before, so relax. Don't freak out if you see them. Our goal is to get outside where we can talk safely.
I guess this is a flashback. That's really weird timing. Oh, okay. It's just this minigame. Okay, so there's really no downside to purging them then. $1,000! I can spend on absolutely nothing. I have no soul. Oh god, do I have to run back out manually? Oh no. Wait, no, it just got really weird. Than usual. I take it I have to destroy you. Why are the sewer enemies in the transdimensional world? You would call it that? What? Why is the camera so... Is this a bug, or is this how it's meant to be? I don't know. Maybe it's meant to be this way? Oof. Okay. It's not even reverse controls, it's weird. Yeah, I guess it's meant to be this way. Come on. Come on. He wants me to go for that door. But I also want to kill this thing for XP, so... So now it's kind of like reverse controls. Okay. Killed that turtle. Towards the end of this game... So I think I am just gonna play it for the end. I think I'm committed. Despite the controversy of inequality or flaws. Just for the fact it's controversial, actually. I'm gonna go over where I think the devs could have improved. And I don't necessarily mean like in the writing sense, but... the core game. Because I can already... in my head, I already know the answers to fix certain issues. And not just like in a pessimistic way, like, oh, the game sucks, but like, here's some actual things they could have done. So I'm gonna point out, like, one thing right off the bat, though, is, a character like Rory should not be introduced necessarily, and I don't mean character archetype, I mean the character class they are. Because they're a support class, and they got a pretty interesting gimmick, and I'm sure they get more skills and variances. But this is way too early in the game. They only have one skill, which is to take damage for someone. But the damage coming in and the difficulty is too little, and their skill variance is so small that, oh my god. That inherently, they're useless in this point in the game. Early game, it's always about damage. You want to do damage because you clear out enemies quicker. And then later game, when enemies have more damage, they have more variances in spells and stats effects, you want more support characters. And then you start specializing characters like damage and tanking or support or healing. So right now, we have a kind of support attacker who is not really good at support attacking yet because he's still kind of evolving. We have our main character, who is kind of basically our only real damage. And then we have our, I guess, our kind of a support, Valid. But she's also kind of a hard hitter when she actually does hit with her attack. So her DPS is going to be split a little bit based on her skills. So she's not full DPS. And then we have our support character, who is pure support. And like I said, it's too early for this party balance. They should have thrown some damage characters first, so we have faster clears. And I can maybe understand somewhat what happened is they had an idea for each character what they would do, and then they probably made sense to introduce that character story-wise at this point. But that's why sometimes gameplay before story, and then write story around gameplay is actually my rule. So, to use an example of a game that came out in the recent years that got the balance, it's not actually a balanced game in the long run, but that's alright. It's an RPG. None of it's really balanced. But Lisa had very good party balancing, where starting out you had the kind of quirky, weird support character that you kind of benched both literally and figuratively with Terry. And eventually he would become one of the best characters at the end game, but you kind of bench him, and I think it's intended. And most of your team is inherently damaged in the beginning. And then after you get that first hurdle, which was a very dangerous game, you know, Lisa's a very dangerous game, party members can die. They start trickling some support characters down, who do have useful skills. And then by end game, you are rocking support skills in tandem with your damage skills to really lay on the hurt. To compete against what are already pretty overpowered enemies. The imagery is kind of interesting, at least. So what are you guys? What's up with y'all? I don't know what we're going to do. How can we possibly help him? No matter how hard we try, we can't make him happy. I know it's selfish, but the real reason I'm sad is if we don't make him happy, then we'll never be happy. Who? The Infinite Spirit. The what? Master. I don't follow. He's saying that thing behind him, the golden halo. Go on. Ooh, wow. He's right there. Can't you see him? Are you from the universe where Pixels was successful and Adam Sandler rules the world? Do you know about suffering? No. I had to spend 24 hours with Adam Sandler on the set. It was true suffering. You don't know how much of a prima donna he is. You're living quickly in this place. I don't even remember why I decided to come. They say it's impossible to suffer without making someone pay for it. Every complaint already contains revenge. Why are you here, then? Do you want to know suffering? Our God says to live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Sometimes I can't believe in him, even though he's floating right there. My brother said that God used to be a lot more active, that he would help us with our suffering. But now just look at the fourth entity. It's so sad we can't help him. If only our prayers would be answered. I hate suffering. Does the fourth entity give me Alex? So I'm just saying, it's clearly clear that the starting thing is tied to the entities. The most depressing thing about depression is how depressing it must be around me kids who are depressed. Seriously, you're a kid. Cheer up, Alex. You'll never know how hard it is to be an adult. Because you'll be dead. I don't know why I said that. Yeah, see, like I said, I'm pretty sure Alex is the god-like entity. Whether it's this... Might not be literally this Alex, but under their logic. Unclean, I am unkind. I'm a mortal fool filled with the promises of immortality by means of the woman. Truly, though, it was a draw of immortality that pulled me in. And now he hates me. Adam and Eve, kill me. You just gotta follow me around for the rest of the game? I mean, I'm fine with that. Spice things up a bit, I guess. Do we just leave? Llama? Amal? You just made a door for us to leave.
Okay, Vela, think.
She really is gone, isn't she? What the hell am I going to do? You guys realize how messed up all this is? My 12-year-old sister killed herself. She died right here. Right where we're standing.
Hey, dude, cool it with that! No one cares about your sister right now. We almost just died ourselves.
Youch.
Alex, what is wrong with you? How can you be so selfish?
You're an asshole, Alex.
Yeah.
I thought you came to help me.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when you didn't lie to us. You realize you've been leading us on this whole time about your sister? You acted like this was connected to Sammy.
Both of you, try and calm down. Alex, leave Rory alone. That's uncalled for. And Rory, breathe with me. In, out. Yeah, just like that.
Should just been Fella, the main character. I told you, it's Vaughn syndrome. It's unironically Vaughn syndrome.
Why did you just say that to Rory?
Hi, mental maze.
The Alex I know would have never acted this way. Man, school really changed you. It wasn't school that changed you. Just think about it, dude. Yeah, why are you being such a dick, Alex? Seriously, man, keep it together. I know you got scared because we almost died down there, but can't you see that Rory is hurt? His sister freaking killed herself! I don't get you, dude. You know full well that you're overreacting, but you just won't back down. Will it kill you to say you're sorry? Seriously? Just say you're sorry. You know, you're really gonna regret this once that hothead of yours has cooled it. Bella's not ever gonna go on a date with you, and Michael's gonna find better friends in college. Seriously, just stop being such a loser. I think Vela thinks you're a stuck-up rich kid who's never known real-world problems in his life.
It's technically true. Why do you want to deny it?
I think the same thing, actually. Okay, so now you're going back to reality.
Good on you, Alex,
back
number
down?
one.
I want to say I'm sorry. I don't know if I can. There's always time to say you're sorry, right? How do you expect me to remain calm with all this crazy shit going on around us?
Uh-oh, looks like the Alexes in the head lost out.
Just because you're cool with soul survivors and astral projection or whatever the hell you've been on about, doesn't mean everyone else is!
Alex! Shut up! Stop it! This isn't all about you, you know!
Fine. Whatever.
Dang, Michael, the one who didn't really do any damage, just told you off.
You said that this isn't about Sammy, but don't you think there is a connection? Don't you realize Sammy was probably taken by one of those soul creeps?
No, that's not right. That isn't how this works. Soul survivors wouldn't take someone like that. They have no interest in such things. They've transcended things like kidnapping or anger or any other motivation for that.
Transcending? What does that even mean?
They see the universe for what it is. They see how temporary our worldly wants and desires are. There is nothing they can gain from taking a living being. It's likely that Sammy herself has simply left this reality.
Left the reality? You think she left her body or whatever?
Are we so invested in Sammy again? I'm assuming it's gonna be revealed, like there's some kind of connection at the end.
Then you obviously weren't listening when I said she was taken by two of those soul survivors. You weren't there when she was screaming for them not to take her again.
Okay, give me a second to think. I'm sure I can explain it.
Look, guys, I'll see you around. This is seriously the last time I hang out with people I met on the internet.
Good for you, Rory. Here, that doesn't give you anything good.
Wait! Come back! Rory! Great, Alex, now look what you did!
Hey, this isn't my fault. Don't blame that on me. He's the one who lied to us.
It's not my fault. The plaid shirt's talking to me through my brain. Its tendrils have infected me. It's leaking thoughts and words into my body. These black rimmed glasses don't help either.
He was obviously just hurting. Just needed someone to reach out to. Could you have said exactly what was going on? Even hiding behind a computer. You can't help but think what people think of you.
Alex, you need to clear your head. Michael, you go back home with Alex. I'm gonna go figure some things out. I'll be in touch when I do. In the meantime, try not to be such a jerk to your friends.
So like the inner Alex knows he's a jerk and doesn't want to do it. Then why does the outer Alex act like a jerk inherently? Like is there a place that's going with this writing wise where there's a twist?
Hey,
like this is not
that
our
kid
Alex.
Isn't my friend.
Cool it, man. You're missing the point.
Like he's unusually, even from the start of the game, he's unusually kind of weird of a character. Because the start of the game, he seemed relatively normal. I mean, from the 90s.